What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. And this is the Dynamite review show. And this week for Dynamite, we have Fyter Fest week 1. So, and then we have week 2 next week. But week 1 started off with a pretty good Dynamite show. Let's hope that Rampage can do the same thing tomorrow night on Friday. But also, before we go into talk about Dynamite this week, let's welcome our co-host with the most, Mr. Leland Benford. What's up, bro?
What is good, everybody? Yo, last night episode was pretty hype. Fyter Fest is always hype, so I'm looking forward to talking about it. We had some big things happen on yesterday's episode of Dynamite, so yeah, man, glad to be here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had 2 title matches tonight that started out with one title match start out the show with the TNT Championship match with Wardlow defending against Orange Cassidy. Now, Orange Cassidy got the TNT title match tonight with his victory over Ethan Page. I think it was back on Rampage. I think it was one of the two. Yeah, so that's how Orange Cassidy got his title match tonight. I don't know. I don't know if he's in the top 5 or not, but he got the title match tonight. And so in the first half, it was just all comedy as it is, but it was pretty fun as it is. So Orange tries to do the hands in the pocket thing, but like Wardlow, like hands up, take it out, and then he ripped the pockets out of his jeans, and then when Wardlow take down his straps, Orange say like, let's put the straps back on there, buddy. And then during the match, Chuck and Taylor, the best friends, earlier mentioned that they finally got their manager's license. They tried to cheat. They even pull out a chainsaw. Got me thinking, is Terry Funk in the building tonight?
Right.
And then they got ejected for the match for trying to cheat. And then Wardlow went under the ring and grabbed Dan Helmsley under the ring. He tried to curse him, but Dan Helmsley thought twice. I was like, I'm not gonna do it because this guy is gonna kill me. And they just left. And then once all the comedy stuff was out of the way, then we got a good solid match between Wardlow and Orange Cassidy there.
Yeah, I think this match overall was really good. I didn't know what to expect from it because, Wardlow is a monster and Orange Cassidy has his style. But I think they did a really good job telling the story of this bigger man versus this, kind of clever wrestler. He's not the biggest, but he certainly is the most craftiest. So like Orange Cassidy using anything to his disposal, pushing, Wardlow into the corner and into the turnbuckles and into the the pole and doing everything he can to keep out of the way of this power bomb, making sure he's not a part of the symphony as much as he can. Also, Wardlow doing a really good job showing his athleticism, doing the cartwheel out of the Hurricane Run in the beginning of the match. But they made you feel like Orange Cassidy had a shot by doing like not these big moves, but just being clever. So just constantly pushing Wardlow into the ringside pole, pushing Wardlow into the turnbuckle, and then trying to hit some big moves where he could. And the crowd was really behind Orange Cassidy. I think everyone likes a good underdog story, but everyone knew that Wardlow was kind of gonna be on top. But for a moment, there was a lot of Orange Cassidy support. I mean, he hit a couple of he hit the orange break. I mean, Wardlow let him take him off his feet, and he hit the orange break in the middle of the ring after an orange punch. I mean, that was everything Orange Cassidy had to throw at Wardlow. And it was an interesting moment where Wardlow hit a F10, and Cassidy kicked out from it. It was a poor cover, and Cassidy kicked out from it. I thought that was going to be the end of the match right there. I forgot that Wardlow used to do an F10 as his finisher, throw the guys high in the air and everything. But overall, his power bomb is his main finisher. and Orange Cassidy went for a orange punch, got caught, laid out, 1, 2, 3, Wardlow champion. And I think everyone is still excited to have Wardlow as their TNT champion at the end of the day. But really good match. Wasn't expect this match to be as good as it was. And I think that's also every Orange Cassidy match. You don't expect it to be as good as it is. And he always goes out there and puts in, hard work and be a clever, really funny moment. I don't know if you caught it because it was in the double screen, but it was a really funny moment after Orange Cassidy was pinned. Wardlow was standing there, had his hand raised. Orange Cassidy, out of nowhere, when the match was over, kicked out. If you go back and watch the replay and look at the live camera, he did a kick out, even though no one was covering, but it just shows that he was kind of knocked out for a moment, and then he woke up and then kicked out. So I thought it was a really funny moment from Orange Cassidy. But Wardlow gave him his respect, but Wardlow walked off the ramp holding that TNT champion. He looks good with gold around him. So this match was a great way to kick off Fyter Fest.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't sleep on Orange Cassidy because everybody's saying, oh, he's gonna have a bad match with Will Ospreay and Forbidden Door. And look what they did. They put out
one of the best matches of the night.
Exactly. People were sleeping on that match. And Orange Cassidy had a good chance of winning the TNT title match tonight. But like we said, it's Wardlow's time. He's not giving out that championship anytime soon. He's probably going to hold on to maybe a couple months, maybe a year. And then once he's done filling his duties as TNT champion, then he's going to move over to the world title picture. So, and for the first half was all comedy, but then in the second half it was just pure wrestling as it should be. So I knew Wardlow wasn't going to lose that belt, but so this was a pretty good first TNT title defense to start out Wardlow's reign as champion. So everything we mentioned,
absolutely.
Yeah. So like everything, so it's pretty much there's a lot of respect between the two, but I think it's time to focus on Wardlow getting more competition as TNT champion.
Definitely. Who's next for Wardlow? Who's going to be that main contender to go over Wardlow?
Yeah, absolutely. So so after that match, we had a recap of Pac defending his All Atlantic Championship in Japan against Shota Amato at Revu Pro. That was a recap. So Pat retained. So I think what they're doing with the All Atlantic Championship that they're gonna take it around the world, not just at AEW. So I see what they're going with there. So I see where they go.
Yo, and I really dig being able to see champions on different promotions. It makes it feel more gritty. It makes it feel like throwback wrestling, retro wrestling, where the champion would go to different promotions, to show off the belt and to fight their top guy there. Makes AEW really hit along with their core audience, which is those hardcore wrestling fans. And usually hardcore wrestling fans are the ones going to these indie shows to support their professional, pro wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're gonna be talking about later on today on Respect the Combat podcast, why AEW is the place for professional wrestler and WWE is more for the sports entertainer and the celebrities. We're gonna explain that later on today. But moving on from sports entertainer to the leader of the JS, Chris Jericho. He came out alone, which was pretty interesting to do a promo. He says he stands in front of the crowd tonight, not as just Chris Jericho, the man himself, but Chris Jericho as the living legend, as Eddie Kingston's superior. Jericho brought up Kingston's friendships, how they're associated with Kingston, and always seemed to the end of disaster, especially with Ruby Soho last week. Now, as far as the barbed wire depth match, Kingston may have marked Ota and Sabu and Funk, but Jericho was the one who won the first ever Canadian barbed wire match at 22 years old. Jericho thinks people underestimated him because his massive accomplishments and his movie star good looks. Next week, you won't be able to estimate Chris Jericho because you will be facing the Painmaker. Jericho said that this will be the final fight in the Jericho-Kingston saga, and when it's all over, Kingston can crawl back to the hole of addiction and depression. He will never be at Jericho's level. The only thing that will wash away Jericho's sins is his massive wave of blood. You are not a liar. You are a loser. So, next week, the Painmaker is coming back. Now, the last time we saw the Painmaker is when Jericho was in a feud with MJF, and they had to do the 5 labors of Jericho, you know, with the pizza cutter thing that happened at the time. Yeah, you know what happened. So, and now they're going on that Painmaker is undefeated, but he only had one match as the Painmaker in AEW. We only seen the Painmaker in at New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah, that's the only time we seen the Painmaker. We only seen the Painmaker once in AEW, but I like the direction they're going, because like we don't want to see Kingston and Jericho as a regular. That's already been done for the last couple of months. I'm glad they went something different for their upcoming barbed wire death match to make it more interesting. So I just can't wait for that next week, for week 2 of Fyter Fest.
Oh yeah, these guys are doing a great job putting this match over. You know, we talked about it last week that the whole Shark Cage thing was a little Vince Russo-y, but we know that Warner is trying to incorporate Shark Week. And look at us, we're talking about Shark Week now because of this Shark Cage whole gimmick they're going to be doing. But give it up to Jericho, who has who at 50 doesn't need to be doing a barbed wire cage match, but is doing a barbed wire match. So give it up to them for you know, trying to just match out. I mean, Kingston doesn't need to do this either, but I think it's going to be an entertaining match. Kingston's promo was really good, and Jericho's promo was really good. But these guys, we already know they're going to do great on the mat, great on the mic. So there's no question there. Looking forward to this match and seeing how bloody it's going to get.
Yeah, and speaking of promo, Kingston said backstage when he was with Ortiz and Ruby Soho, he pointed out how Jericho hurt and the JSS hurted them. So, and then he said he wants the most violent version of Jericho out there for next week. So it's going to be very interesting. So so after that, William Regal joining in commentary for the next match is the interim AEW World Championship Eliminator match with John Moxley and Kenta. And yeah, this was another this was a great showing for Kenta, because you have a lot of stars out, whether it's injury or just on a military leave. So this gives an opportunity for those who don't be on TV a lot to showcase to see what they could do. And if you put out a great performance on TV, they might keep you there. And Kenta is one of them, and he had a great outing against John Moxley tonight. Last night.
Oh, 100%. This guy is incredible. I mean, he's really becoming like you know how like Wheeler Yuta had a crowd behind him, and he just got the crowd support. Is it Konosku? Is his name? How do you pronounce his name?
Contessa, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, like he's just one of those guys. You don't need to cut a promo. He goes out into the ring. You know he's a pro. You believe he's a pro. He put in a lot of heart. He put in a lot of effort into this match. John Moxley, I've never been in a ring a day in my life, and I would never want to get in a ring with John Moxley because he just looks like a very aggressive wrestler. He doesn't, it looks like he hits hard. It looks like, he's safe, but it looks like you're not going to be walking in the back just normal after fighting Mox. So this kid really went out there. I mean, he's 26. He's been wrestling for 10 years, had his first match at 16. I mean, what were you doing at 16, Trico? It wasn't wrestling, This guy was doing it, and for the fact that he has 10 years experience already under his belt, it shows in the ring. He's just a super professional. But the crowd is getting behind him just like they got behind Wheeler Yuta. And I think that's one of the things I like about AEW is that the guys who really put in the work in the ring has a chance to get over with the audience. And it doesn't always have to be this gimmick. It doesn't always have to be this good promo guy. You can be a really good technical wrestler and still get over with the AEW crowd. And this is another example. He's another rising star in AEW because of his work ethic.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a definitely physical match. So and even Takeshita was butts over during the match. So So in the final moments, Takeshita started a comeback with his signature lead clothesline, straight drop brainbuster from together and got the 2. Moxley got his knees up for a frost from a frost splash and cradled Takeshita for the 2 before applying the rear naked choke. He transitions to a cross armbar, forcing Takeshita to roll up and force a break. Takeshita set Moxley to the floor with a hurricanrana and follow up with a great torpedo back inside. The frost splash followed for a near fall. Moxley went for the sleeper, but Takeshita turned it into a blue thunder bomb and then clapped it with a double pin for a near fall. Moxley blocked the jumping knee, spiked Takeshita with a paradigm shift. He wanted the Death Rider, but Takeshita flipped out of it and hit a German suplex bridge for a great near fall. Moxley fought out of the straight jacket German and hit the Death Rider, hammer and nails elbows following the bulldog choke that gave Moxley for the win for the submission.
What a heck of a match, man. These guys, it was a really good physical match. And, matter of fact, I had a couple of people over while I was watching Dynamite last night. And it was one of those matches where everyone was just watching it. Everyone bought into it. And the people I had over, they don't watch wrestling normally. So it was one of those matches that you could show someone who don't normally watch. And they were very entertained with what was happening on the screen. They asked questions. They wanted to know more about the wrestlers. They wanted to know more about the story. They wanted to know more because the guys were just giving their all in this match. They were beating the heck out of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if Takeshita will be in the Blackpool Combat Cup. Like he definitely should show out tonight, but it's just a matter of time. That they probably gonna get more. I don't know if they're gonna get more members of the Blackpool Combat Club to try to fill in the gaps. But I know Claudio is filling in the gaps for Bryan Danielson until he comes back. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's always room to grow, right? I think, like I said, I think the Combat Club is going to be like the Bullet Club. Like they're not going to just go away with the members that's in in there currently. I think there's going to be different elevations and different layers to the Combat Club. So it's always good to see what those young prospects are going to bring to that club. I think I'm excited to see what keeps happening with the evolution of it.
Yeah, yep. And we got an announcement, folks, for All Out.
Real quick, Trico, where they announced the trios title. What do you think about the Bucks and Omega versus Mox, Danielson, and Claudio?
Like I said, when Kenny Omega comes back, that's when we'll introduce the trio trios. And Omega and the Bucks going to be the first champions. Watch.
Yeah, most likely. But the possibilities they have. I mean, think about Death Triangle versus Combat Club versus the Super Elite.
Yeah, they have a lot of trios. They just had it's just a matter of when they're gonna be announced. But like I said, when Kenny Omega comes back, that's when the trio title is going to be introduced. Well, like I said.
Yep.
But we got an announcement for All Out. It's returning to Chicago, but this year it's going to be at the Now Arena for not only All Out on Labor Day weekend, but also for that Dynamite and Rampage for that week. So starting from Wednesday, August 31st, all the way to Sunday, September 4th for that Labor Day week.
I think Chicago is like one of the best wrestling cities out there. So happy that AEW have their flag. I mean, WWE has disappointed that city so many times with their product, and AEW came in at the right time to say, "Hey guys, we got you," and they planted their flag in Chicago. And I think Chicago is just the town for it. All their big events they do at Chicago because they know Chicago's going to turn up and show out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So they definitely had an outing with a Forbidden Door at the United Center. Now they're going to the Now Arena for All Out. I think every time they do an All Out pay-per-view, I think Chicago is going to be the home for All Out for every year. I think that's going to be always going to be the home for All Out. But it's right there in Chicago. That's gonna be
now that Khan owns it officially, owns All Out officially. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from All Out needs to be their WrestleMania. I know like Double or Nothing right now is kind of like their big one. I think All Out is the original. You know.
Yeah. Between All Out and Double or Nothing, it just matter of fact. We don't know which one it could be either All Out or Double or Nothing. They never mentioned it. I know Double or Nothing was their first pay-per-view ever show when they first started, but then like All Out was kind of like the big thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, All Out was like the test. All Out was like their first or was that All In I'm thinking about? Yeah, I'm thinking about All In. Is that the right one? What was the first one they did, like before AEW was official?
Double or Nothing. That was their first one.
Not Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing was the one they did afterwards. And that had like the whole casino thing. But the one they did before they were AEW, this is the one that they did like when Tony Khan was like, "Oh, this is viable," and made it a whole thing. Maybe it was All In. Maybe I'm confused right now. Yeah, All In. I'm sorry. All In was the 2018 pay-per-view that Bullet Club put together. And that's what made it, a possibility to make AEW a thing. So that's the one I was talking about. So All Out, yeah, that's the one All Out is the one they did after when Ring of Honor was owning the name to All In. So now that they got All Out coming back, I wonder if they're going to bring All In back or is just going to keep All Out as the big one. But Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor now, so he can do whatever he wants. But I think All Out can be their big pay-per-view. I know Double or Nothing is like the big one, but now that Tony Khan owns that copyright to that, I think it's a good opportunity to make that back a thing.
Yeah, because I think like I said before, All Out is going to be a Chicago exclusive, and then Double or Nothing can be that Vegas exclusive. So it's a different two sides in that, but yeah, we all excited for All Out, and then because Labor Day week is gonna be a busy weekend. Not only you got All Out, and then you got the freaking Clash of the Castle that WWE is doing. So Labor Day weekend is gonna be a busy weekend. Labor Day weekend gonna be a busy weekend.
That's always good for a lot of wrestling.
So we got a Christian Cage promo before Luchasaurus had a match with Griff Garrison, and then so in the promo they put up a picture with Griff Garrison doing a Jungle Boy cosplay before the match started, and so yeah, and even in the promo, Christian brought up Brian Pillman's father, the original Brian Pillman, the loose cannon. The loose cannon.
Yeah, how great is this evil Luchasaurus gimmick though?
Oh my God, they make it look. Let me tell you something. When Jungle Boy comes back, they probably gonna do an angle like you need to beat Luchasaurus before you get a match with me, which is Christian Cage, and that's where the story is gonna lie in when Jungle Boy comes back.
Yeah. Now it's so different. It's so weird to think about Jungle Boy as a singles competitor, which I know he's done a lot of single matches, but he always had that backup of Luchasaurus there. So seeing like Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy is going to be heartbreaking to see, but I definitely want to see Jungle Boy get his hands on Christian Cage for everything that he's been doing.
Yeah, that's why they're going to lead into when Jungle Boy comes back and like if you want a match with Christian Cage, then you got to be Luchasaurus. So I think that's where they're going to head at when Jungle Boy comes back. But we'll see what's going to happen there. But so yeah, we got Luchasaurus versus Good Garrison, pretty squash match. So it was just a choke slam and then the snare trap for the squash win. That's all it was. But after the match, Luchasaurus choke slam Grissom and Pillman through the announce table.
I was so happy he didn't leave after the table didn't break. I was screaming at the TV one more time, break that table. Please don't leave with the table not being broken. He picked him up, put him through the table, and it was so satisfying. Good to see Varsity Blondes getting some TV time. I think they're an underutilized team. I think Pillman needs to go solo. Griff, I think you're a good guy, but I don't think you got what it takes right now.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
just my personal opinion. I'm not a big fan of Garrison. I think I don't know. It's just something not clicking. But he's very young still. But Pillman, I think he needs to go solo. What if Pillman joins Christian Cage? Wow, that'd be something. That'd be a new little trio. But yeah, I think Pillman needs to go solo. Griff needs to kind of go find his way, find what he wants to do, find a voice, find a personality, find a gimmick, find a character, find something. But he's just not exciting to me. And I think Pillman inherently has it already.
But let's see what
sorry to throw Griff under the bus just now for no reason. But I think it was an exciting segment for Luchasaurus. I'm digging the evil Luchasaurus.
Yeah, because we said that he's like the 98/2001 Kane. He's like the 2000.
Facts. He got the organ music now. He got the fire and brimstone music. I mean, I'm digging it. I'm liking it.
Yeah, absolutely. But we had two promos after the match. First off, with the Jericho Appreciation Society backstage, and they asked about the Shark Cage next week, and then they didn't get what is that all that was about. And Garcia said he understood why he's in the cage. He's dangerous. He also tired of Yuta doing a cheap Garrison imitation, and he will take the ROH Pure title at Death Before Dishonor. So as you guys already know, Wheeler Yuta will be facing Daniel Garcia at the ROH Death Dishonor pay-per-view next weekend. So that's definitely going to be a banger for that match. And then after that promo, Heyman and Adam Page were backstage, asked about being eliminated in the Battle Royal a couple of weeks ago. Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Herrera came out and said they were mad, and they challenged the House of Black to a trios match for tomorrow night on Rampage. For tomorrow.
That's interesting. That's a big challenge. That's a big challenge for them.
I mean, John Silver, yeah, he even went toe to toe with CM Punk. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong, Johnny hungry. So I like John Silver, but for Page to go against Malachi and Brody and oh my god, I mean, just the House of Black is just too dominating, for this new trio of I mean, they're doing new stuff with Dark Order because Dark Order's kind of dissembled a little bit. Which, if you guys listen to the show, I'm cool with 5 being gone, but bring back Stu hopefully. But they got to do new things with the Dark Order to keep them going. But to go against the House of Black, I don't know. That's a tough order, man. That's like just a job waiting to happen,
Yeah. Oh, and it's gonna be very interesting tomorrow night on Rampage. But William Regal joins back on commentary for Claudio versus Jake Hager. This is just a case of scenario of former good friends, but better enemies. So if you guys know why I said good friends before, check out when they was a tag team in WWE for when they would say "We the People." We the people.
Not the We the People.
Yeah, in case y'all don't remember that, go check your history. But after the commercial break, Claudio landed a springboard uppercut to command a comeback. He landed in multiple running uppercuts before the drop kick sent Hager to the floor, where he hit another running uppercut and a diving crossbody from Claudio. It got the 2. Claudio gave Hager a giant swing and then locked in the sharpshooter that had Hager beaten, but Hager signaled for 2.0 to run down and distraction the official. The distraction was enough to allow Hager hit a big Uranagi for a near fall. Hager went for the ankle lock, but Claudio countered it with a big bat suplex. He went for another sharpshooter, but 2.0 hopped in the apron, so Claudio took them out, and then Claudio hit a pop-up uppercut, and then Riga bomb for the win. So
what do you think about this match?
This was a pretty good about like I thought we were done with the freaking Blackpool Comic Con from Blood and Guts. It felt like this thing is still continuing. Like let's hope the barbed wire death match it will be will be the end next week. Let's hope that will be the end.
Well, I mean, Claudio is new here, so he's a big guy. I see, like you mentioned earlier, we had Jericho come out to the ring by himself. Also, Claudio hit a 619 in this match, which is hilarious. We had Jericho come out by himself, but after JAS, we had the JAS do their own promo, and we had Hager come out by himself until they had interest later. So it was just keeping those other guys just involved with the story. And it's a new opportunity to tell stories for Claudio, So if the JAS do want to jump in on them, they can right now while they get the whole Blackpool Combat Club back, in order for it. So, I mean, they got to do something with these guys. Me personally, I still don't know the name of the guys who were the original 2.0. I still don't know it's like McGilly, McCuddy, something like that. I still don't know their names, and they're very forgettable. The only stars of the JAS is Jericho, Hager, Sammy, if he's an official part of it now, and Garcia. The other 2 guys, they could leave tomorrow, and I would never notice they were gone. So they need something to do with these 2 guys. And I guess having them come out cause distraction didn't even work. They came out there for nothing. Didn't even work. So they got a paycheck. They can go home and feed their family another week. But they need something for those guys to do. So I guess this is it.
I don't know, but let's see what happens next week. Let's see if if Kingston and Jericho can end this rivalry for good, so we ain't have to worry about this no more. But other than that, Claudio and Hager, definitely a good physical match between the 2. So after the match, Hook was backstage and asked if he was going for a championship contender chase, not considering the fact he was undefeated, and he just walked away. Now, I think it's too early for her to even think about going for a championship like the TNT championship or a world title right now. But hear me out. If he was gonna go for if he's gonna go for a championship right now, I say go after Ricky Starks and that FTW championship. But like, what is Ricky Starks doing with the title? He's just prancing around. He's not even defending enough. So I would say let Hook go after the FTW title so he could build out the legacy like his father did.
I can see how that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, give it to Hook. Why not? Hook has that attitude of FTW. You know, he has that attitude. I am getting over the whole not speaking gimmick. I'm getting over it. I need to see some elevation with this character, some evolution, some next levels to it. If we're not doing that, stop putting him on the TV. I think it doesn't put him in the best of light. I think it's just getting a little old at this point, and it's just a waste of time. You know, we could be telling somebody else's story than Hook just not talking. I don't think that puts him in the best of light. So for me personally, it's killing it. It's killing the momentum of Hook by having him just go out there and not say nothing. So either give him a mic and let him talk, or don't put the camera on him until he's ready to talk, or put him back up with Danhausen or give him a mouthpiece. That's as simple as it is. But the whole question walk away thing, I'm over it now. They need to go to do something else.
Well, like we mentioned, Hook, he's a man of few words. He let his words do the talking in the ring.
Yeah, hook Stokely up with him or give him somebody to be a mouthpiece for him. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just, give him a I said Paul Lesnar. A Paul Heyman type of guy. Is there any Paul Heyman type of guys out there in the indies that can come be Hook's manager? Please apply as soon as possible because they need something to do with this guy in his promos.
I don't know, but we got a video package recapping Mia Yamseta victory over Thunder Rosa in Japan. So our Thunderstorm, Rosa and Tony Storm were backstage. She said Yenta has earned a title match, but in the meantime, Thunderstorm is ready to take on anyone. But Britt Baker returned to TV tonight with Jamie Hager and Watt Duff. Britt said AEW was a disaster without her, and Rebel came up with a sandbag referencing the sandbagging rumors regarding Rosa. I think this was a reference from the Marina Shafir nonsense. So I don't get what was the meaning of the sandbagging. So I don't get it. But what do you think? I don't get
it. I like DMD. I'm glad to see them back on TV. Don't get me wrong. She looks great. But I also am ready for new stories to be told and new characters and new women to come out there. Where is Athena? Really mad about that. Like, let's get Athena back on TV. Why is she not on TV right now? That is easily a match waiting to happen with Athena and Thunder Rosa. If they're not ready to put Jade off yet, then put her with Thunder then. That'll be a great match between the two ladies. So where is Athena right now? So I like DMD, but I'm also ready for new women to tell new stories.
Yeah, but Athena already has her hands full with Jay, and also Athena's partner in crime, Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander also got a problem with Jay, so they stuck between these situations. So, like I said, that either going to culminate either at Battle of the Belts or the Battle of the Lake show that's happening in August. So that's what's going on right now. But as far as another women actually going on is Serena D versus Anna Jay. So after the break, Jay came back with a running takeovers and a suplex for the two. She wanted the Queen Slayer, but the D caught Jay in a European clutch for a near fall. D spun Jay and almost went for the D tots, but Jay fought out of it. D locked in a wacky submission, almost got a leg Nelson, forcing Jay to escape. Jay hit the low wheel kick, but D cut her off with a dragon screw. Jay surprised D with a Queen Slayer for a nice little dramatic moment, but D was able to stand up out of it and apply the Serenity lock for the win. After the match, D will let go of the hold, so Mercedes Martinez ran out, torn her off, and it is official. They will face off at for the ROH Women's Championship at Death Before Dishonor.
I like that. I like this match. Yesterday, I think this was a really good match. With Deeb and Anna Jay, even though she lost in front of her family and hometown. I was sitting here watching that with some friends, and they were rooting for Anna, and I was rooting for Serena because she is the more experienced technical wrestler, and I like Serena Deeb a lot. Really good storytelling in the match. I think, like I said, just sitting here with people who don't watch wrestling, they were able to relate to Anna Jay. They're in her hometown, and they told a good story inside the ring. But Deeb is that chick, man. Deeb is top notch. You know, she's the Bret Hart of the women division at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that match. Serena Deeb, Mercedes Martinez. So it's gonna be very interesting. Definitely gonna be a hard hitting that matchup. But yeah, afterwards, we got Jay Cargos, Stokely Hathaway, and the baddies were backstage. Jay said they weren't afraid of Athena or Chris Stanlander. They marked Layla Gray for being an interim baddie. Stokely cooled them off, and then said they'll be watching Stanlander and Athena on Rampage. Kiara said, Logan, you will never be a baddie. So definitely ascension between the baddies right now. It's just a matter of how Layla Gray's loyalty in the baddies will be.
Yeah, I mean, this is a nice little story. Again, where's Athena? You paid this money for Athena, put Athena on TV. Why aren't they a part of this story? I'm not sure why not, but it is what it is. But yeah, always good to see Jade. Anytime Jade is on, I tell everyone in the house to be quiet. Turn my TV up louder because I like Jade Cargill.
So after that, we got a lineup for Rampage this Friday. So we got the Lucha Bros versus Private Party. The Gun Club will speak up on their actions. And then we got the ROH World Championship match between Jonathan Gresham and Leah Morinardi. And then for Dynamite next week, we got Brody King versus Darby Allin, Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus the Varsity Blondes. And then the barbed wire everywhere depth match between Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho as the Painmaker, with Jay suspended in the shark cage. And then the ROH Death Before Dishonor lineup. We got the ROH Women's World Championship match between Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb. The ROH Championship match with Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia. And then FTR versus the Briscoes 2 for the World Tag Team Championships, and then the World Television Championship with Samoa Joe versus Jay Lethal. So after that, Jay Lethal and his crew came out on commentary desk, said he said he will embarrass Joe at Death Before Dishonor. And then lastly, Anna Jay was checked on backstage. Ty Conti show up after all sad, but Jay pointed out she slammed Soul's hand in the corridor last week. Conti said Jay, she needs to make more better choices for her career.
That was interesting, right? Will Anna Jay go heel like Ty?
I don't know.
That's interesting though to get her over. You know, Ty seems to be having a better career right now with her and Sammy over at the JAS. Either the Ty's not really on TV that much either, only when she's out there with Sammy. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely what we see. So let's see.
But is it time for the main event?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the triple or nothing triple threat tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships with the Young Bucks defending the titles against Team Taz, Ricky Starks and Powerhouse R versus Swerve and Our Glories, Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. So this was a fantastic main event, and this definitely live up to the triple threat tag team match that we had at Double or Nothing. So yeah, besides the fact that yeah, so if you take out Jurassic Express and you put the Young Bucks in this one, so this definitely if y'all was expecting like a 5-star match, y'all got seven stars for it.
Yeah, this match was pretty awesome. It was incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, it was everything that I thought this match would bring. I mean, you got the two powerhouses, and Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee, and then everyone else is incredibly athletic individuals. Ricky Starks don't do as many flips and stuff like that as the rest of as the Bucks and Swerve, but he's very agile. He does do athletic moves, and he has a lot of explosiveness to his moves.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see where this was like all over the place. Let me see where we can start here. So after the commercial break, after Swerve took a beating during the commercial break, but actually fought off the Bucks to tag in Lee. Lee ran over everyone with tackles. He beat Starks to the Bucks and then went for a dive, but Hobbs and Starks tripped them up. Nick went for a total guard, but Lee caught them with a power bomb onto his brother. Hobbs tagged in and faced off Lee. They lay into each other with tackles, but seemingly running close cross bodies took each other out. Hobbs hit a lengthy frog splash on Lee for a near fall. He and Starks worked together to hit a doomsday cutter for a near fall. Butts dispatched Starks and Hobbs started the super kick party on Swerve and Lee, but Lee fired up until a third super kick from Starks took them out. More super kicks allowed the Bucks to keep in control, but Hobbs fell into official for a referee bump. The Bucks brought in the belts in the ring, but Starks stopped them. Swerve grabbed the title belt, teased attacking Lee, but he ran right to a low blow for Matt. Matt cracked everyone with the belt and then covered Swerve for a good near fall. The BTE trigger followed, but Starks broke it off the pin for the last second. Lee intercepted the melty driver, and he and Swerve hit a doomsday Swerve stop for another near fall as Hobbs and Starks broke it up for the very last second. We got a parade of big moves with Hobbs hitting spine busters on everyone. Starks roll up Swerve for Swerve. Starks will roll up Swerve for 2. Then he crushed him with a spear for another close call near fall. Brandon Cutler distracted the official and inadvertently allowed Lee to hit the butts with Matt's shoe. Swerve hit a quarter brand off Lee's chest, which was absurd. Then Lee pounded Starks like crazy before letting a prestigious flip dive into everyone. And then Swerve hit the Swerve stop on Lee to win the match, and we have new World Tag Team Champions. Now, my thoughts on this. How long was leaving Swerve will keep on to the titles? We've been saying, oh, it's going to be the Butts and FTR for the at All Out. Now, let me just say this. It's definitely going to be, I'm keeping my word. It's definitely going to be FTR versus for the Young Bucks. But we don't know what championship is going to be on the line. We don't know that. And we don't know if Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland is going to hold on to the titles when we get to Chicago for All Out. So that weighs a lot of question there. And the Young Bucks didn't really held it that long. So the tag team title was kind of hot potato here. But it doesn't hurt the Young Bucks at all. It really don't, because like we said before, they're going to face FTR. It's probably going to be one of it doesn't matter which championship is going to be on the line. It's going to happen no matter what. So it's just a matter of, like I said before, how long will Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland be the tag team champions? Because like I mentioned before, like there was a tease that Swerve was going to hit the Keith Lee with the belt. So you got a case of Keith Lee as Goku and Swerve Strickland is Vegeta here. You get where I'm going with this?
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of how long they're gonna keep those titles and how long they're gonna stay as partners. So what do you think?
So good, it's good storytelling, right? Like we don't know if Swerve will swerve Keith Lee, but now they're the champions. Will he just put that all behind him? He said his goal in AEW was to come and get some gold. He got some gold, right? So maybe that's enough, but he doesn't have to do that. Now he needs to protect his team, because his team has gold. First off, how great was this match? I mean, Ricky Starks took a lot of good bumps. Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs did a really cool move where Hobbs had Matt on his shoulders while Ricky was walking the ropes, and then he jumped off into a cutter / face plant on Matt. I mean, that move right there could be their new finisher. Keith Lee was amazing. Early on in the match, he did a really cool karate kick, like spin kick, which for a man his size is ridiculous. He caught Matt and Nick multiple times midair, like in the middle of a flip. I mean, Keith Lee is just amazing. Swerve also did a lot of cool. He did this one thing where Matt threw the kick at him, and he grabbed him, did a swerve under the leg, grabbed him, put him in. There's just so many dope moves. Powerhouse Hobbs with his spot, with all the what's the word I'm looking for? Spine busters. Yeah, that spot was cool. Powerhouse had his Dynamite moment, and that was his moment of that match where he really dominated and looked like a real force to be reckoned with. But at the end of the day, and Bucks, always incredible to have the Bucks in there, and their matches are always the most entertaining matches. Ricky did do one spear, I believe it was onto Swerve, that looked incredible, and that was the explosiveness I was talking about with Ricky Starks and how explosive he can be. But this match, hands down, was just entertaining. I did not see the belts changing hands last night. I did not think that would happen. It wasn't until Swerve got hit with the belt he kicked out, that I was like, oh man, I think we might have new champs tonight. There was this really good moment after Ricky hit that spear on Swerve that you saw Ricky was like crying almost, like he thought that was going to be the moment that he win the belt, and that was not the moment, but you can see him crying because he thought that for sure was going to be it. Dangerous little scary spot when Keith Lee threw Powerhouse Hobbs over the ropes onto the floor. This was him preparing before Keith Lee was getting ready to run out and do a big giant Keith Lee dive onto everybody, which is ridiculous. But this match was just incredible. It was fun. It was you never knew what was going. I'm sorry, it wasn't a Keith Lee dive. They were setting up for Swerve to jump off Keith Lee. Bow! I'm watching the match right now, matter of fact. They were setting it up where Keith Lee was Swerve's pedestal to jump off of. Or did Lee do one? Let me see. I think he did do it. He did jump over the ropes. Yeah, Keith Lee did have his big fly moment. Never mind. So yeah, Keith Lee jumping over the top rope onto everybody. And then that was gave the opportunity for Swerve to jump up and do the Swerve stump onto Ricky. And then he pulled the leg. 1, 2, 3. New champs in Savannah, Georgia. We got confetti. We got fanfare. Brandon Cutler Brandon Cutler on the end going crazy. But we got new champs in Savannah, Georgia. Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Swerve in the Glory is the new AEW champions. And I believe they're the first all-black tag team champions.
Yes, they are the first all-black champions. So one to the brothers here. It is what it is. And after the match, Keith Lee did a great shout out here, and he almost missed tonight's show because one of his close friends was at stage 4 colon cancer. So after the show was over, they went off camera. So you guys can watch on the YouTube channel, on the AEW YouTube channel. So he talked about it. So he said that this was for his close friend, and you will see him soon when he gets there. So yeah, so that was a really touchy moment there. So I'm glad Keith Lee was able to make it tonight. So this was definitely a great moment, not only for him, but winning his first title in AEW. But even though his first couple of weeks was kind of a rocky start, but that's what happens when you have a lot of stat roster or AEW. But like we mentioned before, like when you have a lot of top guys down, then you have your backup there to make your television look great. Because like we mentioned before, you got Keith Lee and Swerve are your tag team champions now. They are gonna blow the roof as champions down the road, and then sooner or later we're gonna get a rivalry suit down the road. And we mentioned before earlier where Kensa put out a great outing. So Tony Khan knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. So if one of your stars going to go out, then you got your other people that can show out and put out the great matches on TV.
Exactly. I mean, he has a star-studded, roster, and then this is for everyone who is saying that, 3 weeks into Keith Lee debuting, you see all these stories. It's AEW ruining Keith Lee. Is AEW underutilizing Keith Lee? Look, now he's tag team champion. He's only been there for a couple of months. He's already tag team champion with Swerve. I mean, that's the first belt of many. You can see Keith Lee being the AEW champion one day. And this is the road that they want to put him on. And now he's bringing more excitement to their tag team. They're a really stacked tag team division. So who would they go against next? I think the rivalry between Hobbs and Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks versus Swerve and Glory is about to amplify now because, Swerve and Keith Lee has exactly what Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs want, and that's that tag team championship belt. So now they can really fight for and have this deep rivalry for, and maybe this will be the way that Ricky Starks gets his first official title in AEW as these tag team champions. And it'd be nice to see Hobbs get it as well. I would say this is like one of the first tag teams too that's not like a AEW OG type tag team. This is the tag team that, they're both WWE guys, came from WWE, this year they were added to the roster. So this is the first time I'm seeing that it wasn't given to like some AEW OGs.
Yeah, so Tony Khan definitely put out a Swerve here. We didn't expect Keith Lee and Swerve Studio to win the titles tonight, but but we glad they did. So let's hope how they do in their title reign. But a pretty good show tonight. Last night this was definitely a great Dynamite. So but this is just beginning, folks. Like I said, this is just week. week one. So we got Rampage coming up tomorrow night, and then week two. So it's gonna be very interesting. But other than that, anything else you want to mention before we wrap up?
So I've been telling you guys that I've been writing this movie about kind of around wrestling video games. I just got word that one of my friends from Full Sail is gonna lend me his big gold WCW championship belt for the movie. So I'm excited about that. And I'm gonna get that going. But I hope you guys will like this movie when it comes out. And yeah, that's about it right now. Empathy is still in post production, working on that. And AEW is going to be here next week, not too far from me. I don't think I'm going to be able to go to this show, even though they're so close to me. I don't know. I'm going to be able to catch it, but I will still be watching it on TV and do the review next Thursday.
Yeah, well, and because they was in Savannah, Georgia tonight, and
Yep.
this
Going to be in Duluth.
Yeah, this is the first in years that that a wrestling show came in Savannah, Georgia. So that was the first in years.
Yeah, and Savannah, I just came from Savannah like probably less than a month ago. Savannah is a real kind of cool. It's a cool vibe in Savannah, and like seeing some of the people in the crowd, I was like, yeah, that's typical Savannah right there. But they was a real good audience. They was hyped up for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But other than that, guys, he is Leland, and I'm Trico, and we're signing off.
Peace.